wherever you are, welcome to State of Affairs live on GH1 TV. And remember, this program is also streaming live on gh1tv.com. My name is Nana Abba Anamwa, and I'll be with you for the next 1.5 hours. Tonight, of course, is a Friday, so we are going into the constituencies. Last week, it was Ningo Pram Pram. Tonight, we are turning our radar on Okaikoi North constituency, also in Accra. But next 2 weeks, we'll be moving out of Accra. But we begin the show with an exclusive interview I had early today with the former president, Jerry Rawlings. I began that interview by asking him what necessitated the discussion he started a couple of days ago about invoking the death penalty to kill murderers.
I guess the recent one was the death of the MP, in the callous manner in which he was killed. But there have been a few too many such callous killings over the years that shouldn't really be allowed. And my point is, if we don't give that kind of tendency a shock treatment, it'll just continue. For the countries who are advocating for otherwise,
the abolishment of the
whatever, yes, correct. I mean, they live in a fairly comfortable society. Their society is not as porous as ours. They are not as vulnerable as we are. We live in a cross mix of things, be it religion, looks, ethnic groups, etc., in our cosmopolitan areas. So it makes it difficult to really keep track of things in general. So when it comes to the issue of the sanctity of life, the reverence we must give to life, I think we must be careful how far we allow ourselves to be influenced by the more comfortable society. So it's important that rather than wait to pursue curative actions, we must engage in as much as possible in preventive policies, in preventive actions.
But you think that if we invoke the death penalty against any murderer, it would deter others from murdering?
I believe so. That's my personal experience, yes.
Okay.
I may sound hard and harsh about this issue, but I have to be quite sincere with you. In moments when I had to sign that paper.
Do you remember how many times you signed it when you were a military leader?
I don't, not that many, but out of necessity, I had to. And whenever I had to, I became quite contemplative.
Right.
I tried to empathize with the spirit of the person.
The supposed murderer.
Correct. And I'd like to think that the person would feel remorseful, regretful about whatever they've done, and therefore probably deserves just to be punished by being kept in there. But that's the difficulty, that's the contradiction. The minute you do, then the lesson is lost. And somebody else does it again. You feel the same way, the lesson is lost. And I'm saying that's how I blocked it in quite a number of situations, in conflict situations or in these cold-blooded killings or robbery, etc. And it helped us to stabilize, But the situation we found ourselves in these last few years is not a pleasant one. Some governments rule and run the show in a manner that prohibits, inhibits, and contains some of those tendencies, those killer tendencies, yes.
What kind of government would that be?
I'll leave it to you, your imagination.
I mean, if you can
it's
explain
quite
to us.
obvious. No.
Is it obvious?
We'll come to that another time. Otherwise, it opens up something else. No, we'll do it. We'll come to that again. And then, of course, you have some governments who probably run the show in a laissez-faire manner, which is not bad. But if people are going to take advantage of it to this extent, then you have a problem, And I think this is where you have to demonstrate that, don't take, if you dare take someone's life, you better be prepared to lose yours as well, And especially the callous manner in which, some of these things have happened.
This is why the prisons are there, to reform these people. You don't think the prisons can reform them? I mean, for a lot of these people, sometimes they're sentenced to life imprisonment. They're spending the rest of their lives in jail anyway. I mean, taking their lives wouldn't change anything, would it?
Oh, let's go and find out how many of them haven't committed atrocities, but out of the largesse of humanity, they end up being released later. What's the word?
Clemency.
Clemency, amnesty, those things, yes. And
but you did grant clemency to some of these people, didn't you?
In deserving situations, but sometimes when there's an overcrowd,
right,
a few too many characters who don't deserve it end up being released as well.
Okay.
On health grounds, the fact that they can't be looked after, and things like that.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you were an elected president, did you ever invoke the death penalty?
I don't recall that. Most likely not. That is not to say that some of them hadn't committed atrocious things for which they needed to be dealt with in the same fashion. And I do remember that I used to ask, some of the ministers within the secretariat about this case, that case, etc. And they'd always be telling me, it's on appeal, it's on appeal, it's on appeal. I would come back to it. I mean, the appeal has still not been heard. Beg your pardon?
I mean, it's due process, isn't it?
Of course.
You need to allow
Did I stand in its way?
No.
But how long is it going to take? And if it's taken that long, then the lesson will be lost on us. Yes.
So
the control factor.
So you think these murderers, once they've gone through the trial process and they've been pronounced guilty, should be executed to serve as a deterrent?
Not in every case.
Okay. What would be the worst case?
Those that may be done in a fit of rage and things like that, you have to examine the circumstances thoroughly. Some are understandable, some just don't deserve it.
Like this case of the supposedly this alleged 19-year-old killing the honorable MP.
Yeah, because he's not the only one. And I'm saying that the society has become weak in a way, while these characters have grown stronger and more confident that they don't have to run when they engage in these activities.
Sometimes they even
the so-called ladder,
yeah.
That's been left over there, and they can come back. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Or commit it, and they don't, and they can spend a whole hour. Yes. Maybe it's because somebody hasn't been informed, you see what I mean, to rush into the place.
Amnesty International, that has been advocating that the death penalty should be removed from our books. I mean, we're in the 21st century and they think it's such an archaic law to have in our books. It doesn't augur well for the fight for human rights.
What about the human right of the one who's been killed, the victim? Please. Who's speaking for that person? The dependents, the children, the wife, the man, the husband. Who's going to look after some of the older folks? When you can treat, when you can take somebody's life.
Did you have any of these human rights advocates coming at you when you were in office that you should repeal or remove that law from the books?
If they did, I don't think I ever saw it.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't, I'm saying they shouldn't come and disturb me. Give me your resources, give me your wealth, transfer some of the luxury of your jails into my country, etc. Then we can talk like that. Let me have, enough resources to be able to take care of my people. The monies that are being siphoned out of this continent, find a way of getting them back. Then I can create employment also for my people. Then you can talk that way. But don't just, sit over there in the sweet comfort of what you call it, and without any understanding of the pain we go through.
There are some who say that
Yes.
the devil finds work for the idle hands. For a lot of these armed robbers who go in, rape, attack, kill, maim, like you mentioned, they are mostly unemployed, maybe. I mean, it's no justification to go rob and kill people. But don't you think that if we had provided enough jobs to keep a lot of these young men and women busy, the crime rate, the murder
Could have gone down.
would have gone down?
Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose so. But I guess that's why from ages past I'd always been singing, taking up the issue of family planning. Okay? Government must do everything possible. The private sector must also do everything possible to help provide skill and the jobs for the youth, etc. But so long as we're doing nothing, or taking the issue of family planning serious enough, we will continue to impoverish ourselves.
Is it just about family planning?
Let me be very blunt and very crude about it. Our sexual gratification is what is uppermost in our minds. And the lady getting pregnant is like a secondary matter. It's like, what's the other one? A byproduct. We don't seem to care. I mean, take a look at the life of our women on this continent in this. I don't think this is a subject I want to get into because no, I'm saying so because I'll get very angry at our men folk. Is what I mean. Who is stopping you from having your sex? The condom is there. Go ahead, have it. But go about it in such a manner that you do not translate that pleasure into life. Life you're not ready for. Life you can't take care of. You go into a village with investors wanting to invest in this or that, and you look at the population and they're just a handful of adults, and the whole place, the landscape is just children. I've seen it all before. They'll just pack their money into their suitcase and walk away. Because that's problem, that's trouble, that's irresponsibility. But then you see, there are those who need the huge numbers for their political power, which is unethical, which is wrong.
Huge numbers?
Of course. Be it their ethnic group or whatever it is, for voting power. So it's like munguba. Go ahead. Have as many children as you can just to maintain your political dominance.
Expediency.
Some of them. Yes, maybe a few too many. So others don't see why they should be family planning. If you want to capture the political power with your numbers, be it at the district chief, executive levels, or this level, that level, all the way to the presidential.
Isn't it because our politics have become such that we are voting along tribal lines? If we could uproot that out of the system, then a particular region having too many children or practicing family planning.
Yeah, we made a lot of progress in that respect, but there are those who only profit from that kind of ethnic factor.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm having to go back to some of the causes that have been attributed to the high rate of killings that we've seen recently through these armed robbers. And some say that there are young men who sit down and see so much corruption, so much fleecing. People are milking the system, and they think, how are we going to be part of this? How are we going to get the resources to improve our lot? And they're seeing it every day, reading it in the papers every day. So corruption could also be leading to this.
Of course. Corruption creates a very violent climate. Yes. It undermines ethics, morality. It undermines justice, you know. And people along, further down that ladder of irresponsibility can take advantage of it. And for them, that's, it's just like somebody in vehicle, you know, on the motorway, they throw rubbish out of the vehicle, you know, anyhow. It's like, that's indirectly, that's their way of reacting to the climate, to the atmosphere, to the corrupt atmosphere. Yeah. I'm glad NPP was able to respond to that character who was released or cleared of his criminal tendencies. The one called, what's his name? Woyome. Yeah. I read somewhere that he said that I'm aware of the millions of dollars that he spent on the party. I'm not aware of any such millions of dollars he spent on the party. I am aware of the €500,000 he took from a foreign, you know, European group, or in my name. I never saw a penny of it. The €1.5 million he took from that same group, you know, supposedly on behalf of the party. He should go and account for it, you know. I mean, when criminals like this, but I think he's been let off, because if he was to be prosecuted properly, it would affect others. That would lead to the embarrassment of some people in government. That's why a criminal like that can be let off. It's sad. It's sad. We're not sending the right signal.
But have you met him before?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
I saw him a few times in those days, the old days. I mean, when he used to come by, you know, and come and talk. But
do you think he's been treated with kids' gloves?
Yes. You know, I'll receive anyone, but when you have criminal tendencies, I didn't think he had these sides to him till much later, when things were piling up on him, or when things were being found out against him. That's when I saw his true character. And especially, and also when I got the report about those monies he went and collected, you know.
What did you do about it when you found out that he had collected
what can I
money
do?
on your
What can I do? The ones who gave it to him don't want any trouble.
Right.
That's the point. So they'll probably deny it or say no, we didn't do any such thing. You know. That's why I keep advocating for the lie detector test and whatnots.
So you thought he should have been taken through the lie detector test?
Oh, many people would fail the lie detector test. You know, there are too many atrocious characters in this country or in various places and positions who just lie, you know. And it's not good for a society. It's not good. It's not healthy, you know. It doesn't bring the best out of us. It does not. If developed countries can jail someone simply for lying, not even the act, but just lying, you know, it should demonstrate to you the value, because without the truth, you can't have justice. You can't have facts on which to build to evolve, to build your movement forward.
I mean, you're a champion of probity and accountability and everything that is right. Would you say that we've made enough advancements, you know, as far as the fight against corruption in this country?
We did. We do once in a while, then it collapses with the government becoming, you know, losing its track, losing its way.
Because it's become such a...
It happened from the Nkrumah time. Then he was overthrown. The integrity factor was quite high. Then it also declined. And then, you know, with the Busia one also. And Jesus Christ, theirs was full of a lot of arrogance, actually. You know. And maybe let me take this opportunity to tell you something. For those in politics and those in power. Something ordinary people, I have the feeling ordinary people sometimes can stomach. Corruption to some extent. But what ordinary people detest the most is a contemptuous treatment, arrogance. The arrogance of power. And sometimes I think that's partially why Nkrumah probably lasted as long as he did, and Busia didn't, you know, because there was a lot of arrogance around him and his people.
Busia.
Yeah. I mean, his overthrow came as no surprise. As young as I was as an officer, I could even predict it. Because, I mean, you know...
But would you say that arrogance has gone down now? I mean, aren't we still experiencing some form of arrogance in the last 15 years?
There's a way in which, yes, some of it has now spread and percolated. And this is what, in effect, has also led to the class, you know, situation again. You know, the revolt, in a way, came and slammed and smashed against that slave-master relationship, seven-master relationship. You see what I mean? And we found the appropriate equilibrium. But after I left office, an effort was made to take it back to that ruler ruled. You see what I mean?
You're talking about President Kufuor's regime.
I'm not calling names. I said when I left office.
He took over from you.
I see. Okay. And some of the things that just happened, atrocious things, we're looking and hoping that Mills, you know, would come and right some of those things. But the minute he allowed it to, as he put it, to let things be, and the money would flow, that's quoting him. What he didn't seem to realize was that in allowing it to be, you are going to perpetuate, yes, the crimes and the wrongs of those days. And I guess it's because they probably were tired of doing things with a force of conviction, my way, our way. You know, so they started monetizing everything and decided, you know, that's going to be the new paradigm. That's going to be the new way. And so this is an interesting subject we should talk about
later. But do you miss him, Professor Mills?
No.
You don't?
I don't.
Okay.
At all. And I'll take off my glasses for you to see my face. When I look at him and look at this John, they have a few too many commonalities, but this John did not line up people on the promise of a job when you insult and fabricate things against me and my wife and my family, as he did, as Mills did. This one has not done that. You know, that is not to say that I don't think he's also going astray.
Is he?
Well, he says he's fighting the corruption effectively. I don't think so, you know.
What do you expect him to do? I mean, he's setting up committees and commissions to investigate a lot of the cases that are coming up.
And incidentally, going back to the Mills, if God hadn't invited him, and I'm saying it again, NDC would have been in opposition, would have gone to opposition. It was terrible, yes. The climate was really bad for us.
Right.
And we all know it. We're just keeping quiet about it. It was his departure that gave NDC a saving grace through John. But I think he could have done much, much better.
Okay. Talk about President Mahama. He's in Scotland, and he was in the Scottish Parliament yesterday to address a select committee, and some of the MPs actually boycotted his arrival in that parliament because they say that he's not done enough to protect the rights of homosexuals and gays and lesbians and transgender people in this country.
Is that so?
Yes.
Well, quite frankly, I think the president, he has done what he can, but I think the president of Kenya gave President Obama the right answer.
Why are you singing? Why are you singing that song?
No, I think that issue is a little too complex. You see what I mean? I've met some brilliant ones.
In this country?
I respect them. Oh, yes, yes. And I think internationally also, you know.
If you were still president, would you
It's just that,
have
I mean, I
recognized
just
them?
don't like the idea of them trying to insist. You see what I mean? That do so and so before you can have this aid. What the hell? What do you mean? I mean, let sleeping dogs lie. Let sleeping dogs be, you know. It's always been there, so let it be. Leave it alone. Just so long as you're not offending somebody and it's a mutually acceptable situation, fine. You can overlook whatever. But don't come and insist on something like that. I thought it was mischievous. It was foolish.
We are in an election year, and we've seen the back and forth between the NDC and the NPP, from the State of the Nation address to Nana Addo giving his own version of the State of the Nation address. Now we are debating the debt stock of this country. The NPP says it's $37 billion. NDC says, and in fact, President Mahama said himself on Monday that it's $24 billion, and he's challenging Nana Addo to a debate. What have you made so far of the debates between the two parties as far as this election is concerned, and what are your expectations for this election?
I'd like to hear what Kufuor has to say first. Then you can come back. And
Why
put some of
do
these
you want to
questions.
hear him first?
Oh, I mean, he belongs to one faction of the party. I belong to the other. You know, let's hear what he has to say.
Are there factions in your party?
I think there are factions in most parties. To what extent do you allow it to weaken you is what the issue really should be about. But
Do you think the NPP can win the elections?
they can, yeah. So can the NDC.
And the CPP?
I hope so. I hope so.
You would want a CPP government?
Who's the leader of the CPP?
Ivor Green Street.
Is that so?
Yes. Yes. Why?
I'm just saying, I'm only clearing my throat.
Okay, all right. You know him, don't you? You know Mr. Green Street?
Yeah, I've met him once or twice. Koni Bambatahanya.
What language is that?
Wallahi talai.
Right.
Nana, won't you bring your interview to an end?
I'm not just about ending it. I'm just about ending it because I want you to comment on
On
your
what?
expectations of the elections. What do you expect Ghanaians to do?
I want Ghanaians to be very vigilant. That's the only way we can have free and fair elections, and that's the only way we can have peace. Yes, to be vigilant, very vigilant. I think we were quite vigilant in the last one. You know, we must double the effort so that nobody, whether NDC or NP, would misbehave, or any other party for that matter.
Okay.
And I think Ghanaians must be wise and really examine and see situations and examine the personalities.
And then your thoughts
What?
so far on the EC's work.
Well, she has a duty to perform, and I hope she does it with integrity.
Okay, and then the last question is about your daughter, Dr. Rawlings.
Senator.
Yes, Senator. And all the issues she's been experiencing from her constituency. What have you been telling her? And what have you made so far of the issues that have come up about?
Oh, we hardly find time really to sit to examine, what's going on. But Zana is a strong lady. Whether they accept her or reject, or the court, takes a decision in her favor or not, I think she's ready for either. Yes. And I'm saying so because her aspirations, cannot be blocked by winning or losing this thing. Yes. And she'll continue to do what she's always wanted to do.
Did she ever vote?
I was given the impression, I haven't even asked her because I was given the impression by somebody that she did vote on 2 occasions, but I haven't received a confirmation. I probably have to ask her or find out.
Okay.
Maybe not. But she's a great patriot.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And a Ghanaian, a patriot. A strong one at that. And for me, a role model like some of you. She is. We should not destroy role models. And I'm not saying so because she's my daughter. We must learn to protect values and its personalities, where some of us are a little too destructive. I will say that some parties are a little too destructive, of its personalities, cowardly things to do. I'll say Nana Akufo-Addo is one hell of a bold character, And I wish him well. I wish the other leaders, including John Mahama, also well. Let's just make sure we play it fair.
All right. Thank you very much for talking
most
to me. By the
welcome.
way, have you been watching my show?
Yes,
State of Affairs.
they're quite stimulating. No, I've always enjoyed watching. No, but you make it very stimulating. You make it very educative, and you're quite bold. Thankfully, now I can get you on GH1 and the Google. Is it Google? YouTube. Beg your pardon. YouTube.
YouTube,
Yeah.
yes. All right. Thank you very much for talking to
You're
us.
most welcome, my love.
Right. On Okaikoi North, if you have any thoughts about that interview, I'd like to read it out with the rest of the world. This program is streaming live on gh1tv.com, and the hashtag to use is State of Affairs. Tonight, we are focusing on Okaikoi North constituency here in Accra. And my guests are Abdul Razak Issa. He's the NDC parliamentary candidate for Okaikoi North, and also Fusaini Issa, the NPP parliamentary candidate for that constituency. Before we go into the discussion, your thoughts on former President Rawlings' interview?
Very, very, very interesting thoughts. Papaji, as we all know, he speaks his mind. With time, I think that he's mellowing. If I were in his party, I did be very worried about some of the thoughts that he actually shared. Well, he wished everybody well. He's now more or less a statesman. We've listened to what he has to say, but I think his party should listen to him more closely, especially on the women affair. I mean, he did state his mind. Lots of us also share what he said. We think there's some criminality there, and that if Woyome is actually pursued, this is going to affect other big fishes in government. And to save the government the embarrassment, they have to find a way to release or get a way to let Woyome go. It's rather an unfortunate thing, but I don't think that we've seen the last of it. Last week, we all heard the verdict from the courts. The criminal aspect is being dealt with. But the civil aspect, I think we still have to pursue him, and we still have to go for our money. On the question of Zaneto, I think as a father, he said what a father should say. We always Zaneto well.
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking at young people taking the reins of government. At least when Rawlings became head of state, he was just in his late 30s. Yeah. And we've all seen him over the years. We hope these things come to fruition. And I was also quite happy that for some reason he's finding some positives in Nana Akufo-Addo, who I believe is going
I knew you were going to go there.
Yes, who I believe is going to be the next president of this beloved country of us.
All right. How about you, Abdul?
All right. Thank you very much. Good evening to your viewers, and good evening to the good people of Okaikoi North, and particularly the good people of Akwitima, who I represent at the assembly.
You're hoping this will win you votes. Selectively saying hello. No, don't mind me. Just pulling your legs.
No, Akwitima, that is where I'm currently an assembly member there.
Ah, right.
So I greet all the
Well
people
done.
of Okaikoi North, but specifically the people I currently represent.
Right.
And I extend it to the people I wish to, I'll be representing after 7th November. Anyway, you won't expect anything beyond what Papa J just said. His posture, his demeanor, it's always been, fantastic. He has been consistent. He has never changed. And I think currently we won't expect anything more than this. He's now a statesman. Similar way we have been hearing from former President Jerry John Kufuor.
Johnny Jekun Kufuor.
Sorry, Johnny Jekun Kufuor.
Okay.
These are the two, heads of state who are currently living.
Still with us,
so
right.
I believe this is the kind of things we expect from them. But like I said, Jerry has always been consistent on corruption. You won't take away.
He doesn't think President Mahama is doing enough.
Well, that is his view, and he's entitled to his view.
Okay.
That's
great.
You would agree with me that the president has done a lot on corruption.
Well, it's for you to say, not that I would agree.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have an opinion.
But I think the president has so far, so very well. But Woyome issue, I don't know. Day in, day out, Woyome issue keeps popping up.
Yeah.
I just don't know why the opposition always want to capitalize on that one.
Are they capitalizing on it? This is the lead founder of your party who's
that
talking
is his
about
view.
it.
I think it was emanated from yesterday's press conference that was held by the opposition.
Yeah.
Yeah, the press
And he said the NPP did very well. He actually commended the NPP for
what exactly
talking about it.
No, talking about it is not enough. It was an ordinary Ghanaian.
All right.
Who took the issue to court.
Okay,
it
fine.
was Martin Amidu who succeeded in making sure that the money is going to be repaid.
The same
but not
man who
an
was kicked out.
opposition.
Anyway, that's not the issue now. Let's take a break.
Opposition.
When we come, I'm just wondering how both of you are, Issa. We'll be right back. Stay with us. A constituent of Okaikoi North. Tonight, I'd like to hear from you what you think about these two candidates. Who would you be voting for? Well, it's your secret, by the way. But tell us why you think either of them should be the MP for your constituency, and also the problems in your constituency. And I'll start with you, Hussaini Issa. And you are Abdul Razak Issa. And apparently he's your uncle. Yeah, last week, some George and Sly were here. He's younger than you are.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, so I'll start with you. The seat is for the NPP at the moment.
Right.
And you're hoping to retain it for the NPP. Elizabeth Saki, the Honorable Elizabeth Saki. She's done, according to some people in your constituency, that she's done very well.
Yes, she has.
As far as the provision of certain things, as far as how much lobbying an MP can do for the constituency is concerned.
Certainly.
What is your plan? Because they still talk about the bad road network in your constituency.
Right.
And they think that in that direction, she probably didn't lobby enough.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now the program is starting. I have to say a good evening to the people of Okaikoi North as well,
Right.
particularly Niboy Man and Anahuma.
That's where you live?
And all 6 electoral areas. I live in Niboy town, but I'm actually a very local boy from Okaikoi North.
Okay.
And that's where I was born, that's where I was bred up, so I'm a very local boy. I'm talking about roads within Okaikoi North. It's true. It can always be better than it is now. But I can tell you that before before the 1992 Constitution, most access roads that we have within Okaikoi North were not even on the map. It's taking quite some doing. A greater part of the constituency, about 2 electoral areas, were hitherto part of the race course was designated as a race course for the country. We know land issues and all that, so all those areas have turned into residential areas, making it very difficult for town planning and access roads and things like that. And what I know and what I'm privy to, and what I've learned from the outgoing NP is that she's been able to get an outlay done. In the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of access roads being tied. It can always get better. I mean, when you go to areas like Anahoma, it's really bad. The situation is really bad. But I think we are working at it. It's true that NPPs have the seat all this while since 1996. The only time we didn't was when we didn't contest for it. We are working at it. Most of the last.
So what's your plan?
My plan, my plan is, I'm hoping that we win the presidency. In fact, we are going to win the presidency. And when we win the presidency, with the support of central government, I'm sure that we are going to keep.
And if you don't?
If we don't, we don't what? If we don't win a seat or we don't win the presidency?
If you don't win the presidency?
Oh, we'll still go on. We'll still be lobbying. Like we said, Honorable Elizabeth Saki has done her bit. She's been able to get this outlay going. She's been able to do loads of the work, and we'll push forward from there through lobbying. But I am certainly very positive that we are going to win the presidency this time. And once we're in government, we will be able to resolve some of those issues for the people of Okaikoi North.
Right. Abdul,
right.
Roads.
Thank you very much. I think most of these roads, like we said, thank God, most are now being constructed. A lot of the roads in Akwetema have been tarred, but there are some few that are yet to be done. One at Niboyman. There are a whole lot of roads. There is no denying the fact that most of the roads in Okaikoi North are in a very deplorable situation. Talk of those at Alubusi, talk of those at Christian Village, the Zongo Road at Masalachi, Kisima, high tension at Anauma. Yeah, that's very true. But I think basically every lawmaker, primarily you and I would agree that the function of a member of parliament is to make law. But your ability to lobby, your understanding of issues would help you to bring development to your constituent. And having been an assembly member for 3 consecutive terms running, most of these roads are done by the assembly. I have been a member of the works subcommittee of the AMA. These are the urban roads which have undertaken most of these roads. Just 2-3 days back.
These are roads in your constituency.
Okay.
Wow.
They're almost unmotorable.
Yeah. So yeah, I think.
I'll come to you very soon, Fuseni.
Yes.
Abdul, you can make your point.
Yeah. So as I was saying, yeah, we would all agree. Not of all our roads are in good condition. Particularly the Jack Blair Street at Akwetema. If you look at that road, is in a very bad state. As I was saying, but again, the roads at most of the roads at Niboy Town are now under construction. I think some amount has been allocated for the development of roads in Niboyman.
Okay.
And the one at Face Pond area, I understand the construction. And then the one at Ayayefe Street at Akwetema. Just 2 days back, I was there with the mayor of Accra to look at, we are trying to link it with the main road, the Achimota Highway, and then the N1 Highway, so that residents from Akwetema would be able to apply. Very soon at time, the contractor will come to site. And
so you're saying this because, well, number one, your party is in power.
Not necessarily so. Not necessarily
because
so.
you make it sound like you are using your office or in your capacity
as an assembly member. Exactly. So.
Okay, and at the moment as a candidate,
we were
to get the AMA and other people to come into the constituency to fix the roads.
We were even at Anoma with the assembly member of Niboyman, who is also an MPP member, when the mayor came there.
Okay.
We went together to check the Alajabas road. The mayor together with the assembly members was part of our entourage.
Do you acknowledge some of the work Elizabeth Saki has done?
Oh, why not? Okay. I was her personal secretary.
Oh, really?
I believe in development, not necessarily political affiliation.
Fantastic.
I work for Elizabeth. I've worked for 2-3 assembly members.
And she did good?
Oh, why not? I would commend her for that.
So why
there is no denying the fact
should
that
they vote for the NDC then?
Not
continuity. For continuity's sake, they should vote for.
No. Not necessarily so.
Okay.
For continuity's sake, you vote for somebody who has experience. Somebody who has been an assembly member for 3 consecutive terms. Somebody who has been a unit committee member. Somebody who believes in development.
Doesn't make you an MP. It doesn't give you the experience of an MP.
Why not? Assembly is a local parliament. We make laws. You serve the committees at the assembly, as same committees at the National Assembly. I've been a member of the local cabinet. I've been a member of authority.
So you're more versed.
Exactly.
Okay.
Where I've had opportunity
And
by
he's
the
not.
Well, I can't say that for him.
So you
get
think,
me?
you
So
think
it
the
depends
election
on
will be
experience.
about experience?
It depends on experience. Why not?
Yeah.
Experience is always
You
the
think it will
best
be
teacher.
about experience?
It is also part of it.
An assemblywoman.
Exactly, she was.
Okay.
And you know, anybody would agree that most members of parliament who were once upon a time assembly members
better.
are doing very well. Neil Ante van der Poel was once upon a time an assembly member.
Well,
that's
according to you.
I don't know about Osechi Mensah who's ever been an assembly member. I don't know about. I don't know.
Let's give him a chance to talk.
I don't even ever know about.
Let him talk.
I don't even know about Abong Babi never been an
assemblyman.
assemblyman. He is the he's the leader of the majority in parliament. Yes, I might have not been an assemblyman, but personally, I'm coming from a background. Look, I'm 41 years. I'm a chartered accountant with 14 years
You don't look a day past 30.
That's true because I lead a very good life. So I think I
and you're
look
good looking.
Yeah, oh, thank you.
Anyway.
Look, I'm 41 years. I'm an accountant with 14 years experience. In fact, I work with Data Bank. I'm the vice president in the private equity subsidiary of Data Bank. I have traveled Africa. I've traveled the world. I have seen what we have in other countries. And through my experience, through my interaction with people around the world, I know what we are capable of doing. I've met Ghanaians. I've lived outside for years. I've met Ghanaians. I know our capacity, what we are capable of doing. Unfortunately, in those environments, we don't have it. That is why I'm putting myself up for this job. I know what I'm capable of doing. You don't necessarily have to be an assemblyman. From my work experience, I am a vice president, for God's sake. I have met people who matter on the African continent. I have a very solid network to be able to get Okaikoi moving. Like I said, I'm being an assemblyman. We have people who have excelled in parliament, who probably were never in the assembly. Back to Okaikoi and the state of our roads. It's deplorable.
Terrible.
It is. In fact, I drive Okaikoi, so I virtually know every corner of Okaikoi. And for a country of Ghana's capacity or potential, for people within Accra. I mean, we live just a couple of kilometers away from the seat of government. If you get into the constituency, it is deplorable. And we know that it's a function of the assembly. The assemblyman is a development agent. Yes, the basic function of the MP is a legislator and to an extent an advocate for their people. That's what we expect an MP to be. And through the advocacy role, you tend to lobby for this project. But an MP, especially when you're in the position, you're limited to your development fund and NHIS fund and get fund. That's all you get. But I can tell you on authority that this has been able to stretch. Our current MP has been able to lobby for even to get Okaikoi roads on the map of Accra. It's been very terrible. You can try it. Go to a local assembly and try to get
Why
a
is
map.
that so?
Because I did say that the chunk of that constituency, beside the traditional places like Akwetema, Achimata, and Alubushi, Niboy Town and Anahoma, which form probably a third or almost half of the constituency, initially was designated as a racecourse.
Right.
So we didn't get a planning going up initial. It was an afterthought. So for her to have even taken the initiative to even get it on plan. And she's been able to move some of the routes forward. This road naming is helping us to have some of this to recognize where essentially we need to put these resources. And I think it's something that we'll push forward when given the chance.
Okay. Abdul, back to you.
Yeah, for the records, I think Elizabeth has been in parliament whilst MPP was in power, right from 2004 to date.
Right.
So she had opportunity to be in parliament from 2004. So not necessarily saying she's in opposition. But again, like I said...
she's been in opposition for almost 8 years.
Yeah, that's okay. But I'm putting on record. That's right. It. So yeah, she has been... But the fact is, like I said earlier on, experience counts a lot. My cousin, he has said a lot. Yeah, he's done a lot for people outside Africa. Isn't it? Within Africa. Yeah, but come back to the local people and ask me the road networks, Okaikoi enough. Like I said, if you go to AMA, the map of AMA, I was part of those who were able to put it together. I'm talking about that of Akwetema. I have it, the road networks. I've met the chiefs. as an assembly member. I was an assembly member once in Akwetima.
So you've been instrumental.
Very well.
And yet
that
your
is what I want
roads
to
are this
continue.
horrible.
Oh, come on. Since I became an assembly, come to Akwetima and see the IIA fence street has been tarred. The Adama link has been tarred.
Over 12 years?
The Adama link has been tarred.
Okay.
The Market Road has been tarred. The Victory has been tarred. Currently, the second IIA
What
fence road
percentage
is
of
under
roads? What
construction.
percentage of roads in your constituency have been tarred?
In Akwetima or?
In your
No,
constituency?
I don't have the statistics.
Okay, but,
Yeah.
but I mean, you can gauge it.
Averagely. Out of
Okaikoi
100.
has 6 electoral areas. Akwetima is just
why-
one of 6.
Sorry,
won't
let
allow
him.
me to.
Sorry, make
No,
your point.
Akwetima-
That's your uncle, you know.
Yeah.
Please.
6 electoral area. I had opportunity to serve in 2 as an assembly member.
Right.
And anybody in Atsumota would agree that the Victory Road,
You did a good job. Actually, I've
During
used
my
the Victory Road. It used to be.
you apply
It used
very
to be
good.
horrible.
Exactly.
Now it's very
and
comfortable
as
to drive
I
on.
speak to you now, contracts has been awarded for the road. I don't know if you know Church of Pentecost. There's supposed to be a culvert, a road that links Akwetima and the Gawest. It's been cut off for years. And as I speak to you now, I've been able to get Elijah about the urban roads has come to the site and it's been awarded on contract. Very soon the contractor is going to come on road and Akwetima is going to be linked with the Gamasama. That's the Malam Ali lane. And the next lane is what I'm talking
So
about.
as far as you're concerned,
Nana,
this
but you should
parliamentary
see-
election
you should
is
see-
about
you should-
experience.
You should see this Elijah
about-
Bus road. It's been there for ages. It's been cut for ages. In the last couple of months, we woke up one morning and some excavator is going to do some very dangerous works there. Every time it rains, I pray to God that we have no casualty there. Even this one year I was there. You should see, it is terrible.
That is
I'm
why
wondering
exactly
why your
I
cameras,
visited with
your
the
cameras
mayor.
is not
That's
taking.
where
It's
exactly
all for the
we were with
political
the mayor.
expediency. Elections is
Why is
coming
the
up.
mayor- why is the
Suddenly
mayor now moving
the
in?
mayor is
No, the-
interested in getting
Why
Elijah
is he now?
Bus
Why is
fixed.
he
It's
now
been there
moving
for
in?
ages.
Oh, but the mayor, this
For-
was the
it's been there for
first
ages.
time
Since
he's been
he's
in
been in
Okai
office.
enough.
Since
I have
he's
the
been in office.
He could have done it
evidence.
The
last
situation
year.
in Elijah
No,
Bus, he could have
the
done
mayor
it last
has
year.
been-
He
the
could have done
mayor-
it 5 years ago. He could have done it 8 years ago. It's election time, so they're finding it expedient.
It is
to
like
come,
you're-
to come there,
it is
and
like
then
you
people
are-
see them with the cameras,
it is
and
like-
they look good.
Does that make you nervous?
It doesn't make me
It is
nervous
like-
because the people know the truth.
It is
Because
like
the
you
people know
are.
the truth.
It
As
is like
simple
you
as
are. You are hungry, and your mom tells you, "I'm in the kitchen preparing the food. The food is going to get ready soon."
Right.
And then I bring you the food. Oh, I've been waiting for long. I don't need. Development is a continuous process. You can't run away
But if
from
the
that
food
fact.
delays, you get ulcer.
But you must eat.
Because you
But
will
no,
starve for so
you
long.
won't get there. So you will not say that because even to a day to election, development must go on. Development is a continuous process. Nobody can run away from that
Okay.
fact. And so
and
if the
that
mayor,
will take me to drainage because he mentioned the issue of flooding. And you went there at the particular area we talk,
that's why when we the assembly
A
member
Elijah
and the
Abbas.
mayor,
trench,
yes,
a huge trench is being dug.
It's under construction
Probably 200 meters. Right. We know that the area has been flooded since. In fact, since what? Probably late 90s. We have had that issue at Elijah Bus. Suddenly, I mean, this whole trenches, and it is eating and eroding under people's houses. It's so dangerous. With no consultation whatsoever, an excavator comes. In fact, the people have to even hustle, go through other people's homes to be able to access their homes. That's so dangerous. I'm wondering who actually did that without thinking through the project. If I were to do a project, I was going to sit down, look at my resources, look at the time.
Do you know that area?
Time plans. It looks.
It's in your
looks-
constituency, by the way.
It looks familiar.
Okay.
If I were going to do a project, I was going to sit down, cost it, look at my resources, even phase it out, if need be. I wouldn't go excavate a whole trench like that and put people's lives at risk. I'm sure your camera should come see Elijah Abbas area. It is awful. It is so dangerous for our people.
Okay.
I'm surprised my Fuseni seems to appear more engineer than the engineer.
Oh, well.
No, I'm saying, look, with my experience, I'm not an engineer.
No.
I'm not an engineer, but I know how to
I
manage
don't think
projects.
any engineer.
I know how to manage projects.
No,
So I
I
will
don't
say
think
this.
anybody will just
Abdul,
bring in.
It is my
I
pleasure to tell you
don't
how
think-
projects are managed because
Okay.
I know how it is there.
Calm down.
These are-
Calm down. I'm in charge of this show. Okay. So I'm saying that you don't need an engineering eye to know that a job has been done badly. If some work has been done and it's rained last night as heavy as it did last night, and this morning you realize that people are at danger, people are being exposed to some sort of danger. You don't have to be an engineer to know that the work that has been done is bad. So I think you're wrong when you say that an accountant.
When he is saying you need to sit down and cost it and do blah blah, I don't think any engineer would just the fact of the matter is
because
that
we've seen some work done.
the rains are about to set in.
When
the rains are about to set in, you go in to do the certain. It's a periodic something that the AMA undertakes.
What they have done is not
yesterday or today,
what they have done
I think
is not
the local government minister with
Let me ask you one question before you go on.
Go ahead.
Why have we waited till the onset of the rains before we're moving in these excavators?
It's a routine exercise that AMA undertakes.
So it was done 3 months ago? It was done 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago?
About 3 months back.
Are you sure?
When you dredge
it's a routine exercise.
Dredging means you're taking out the waste.
One minute.
It's a routine exercise that AMA undertakes. Okay? AMA undertakes routine exercise to desilt drain. It's periodic exercise, not until the drains are constructed. It goes on everywhere. Like today, you and I would agree, the local government minister has given instruction to all MMDC to ensure that drains in their various districts are desilted to ensure free flow of the rains.
Absolutely.
When they come, that is a fact. So it's done every time now and then. It's not about for political expedience whatsoever.
So what sort of relief has it brought to the people?
No, not until you construct the drains, not until people move their...
what has caused the delay?
The delay of what? Constructing the road?
Of the drain.
Development is a continuous process.
But development cannot be stopped.
America is even developing.
No, don't give me that excuse.
No, you need to... Rome is never built in a day.
Rome was not built in a day.
Was in government. They too could have... If MPP had done all...
Rome was not built in a day, but the builders were not sleeping.
No, but if MPP had done all, we wouldn't have been here.
Did in the constituency.
Have they done all? Have they done all?
We did
so
drains in
Who do I listen to
Go
now?
to Niboima and see.
Okay.
Go to Niboima and see, and he would agree.
Whilst when we are
around their community,
the problem was there. What did you do about
we
it?
did storm drains in Abofu. Abofu was like Alajo. When it rains, it just floods everywhere. Go to Abofu today. No matter the extent of, even on June 10th.
Abofu is after Abelemkpe.
Abelemkpe.
I know it.
Even after the incident on June 10th. You should have seen the level of...
That is why you come back to my argument. Development is a continuous process.
We know how to do it.
So you come back to my argument. You wouldn't...
Hold on, Hussaini.
You haven't done all.
You're absolutely right when you say development is a continuum,
process.
as they say.
It is.
So,
but
if
you don't put people's lives at risk like they're doing at
Hussaini, I have a question for him. He talks about Abofu.
Abofu, yeah.
Okay, and how the works had been done in Abofu in the 8 years that President Kufuor was in power. And I'm not doing his bidding, but indeed, if you drive through Abofu when it's rained, you can see clearly that what they used to experience in the past has disappeared. He's mentioned Abofu, mentioned one area that you have worked on, your party has worked on since you assumed.
Several. But again, let me tell you, the Abofu drain.
Mention them.
The road, go there and check now.
Don't talk about Abofu.
No, go there and check now. The works were not done well.
Mention them. I'm not talking. I'm not asking you to
I mentioned Ayayefe Road. I mentioned the culvert at Akwitima.
We're not talking about the road.
I mean, go to Alugbosi and see. Go to Alugbosi. Drains are under construction. Go there now.
You've been your party has been in power for 8 years. I'm asking you to tell me, in the 8 years that your party, almost 8 years that your party has been in power.
That's what I mentioned.
You said they're under construction.
Yes. The roads, the drains in Akwitima.
When will they be completed?
There is a wooden bridge.
No, hold it. Which one are you talking about? Storm one. Akwitima. The storm drain has been done.
It's been done.
Yes,
it's complete.
Done. It's completed.
Fantastic.
Couple of 5 years back.
Couple of 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Okay, right. So he's mentioned one. So we are square now.
No, we are not squared.
No, we are square. We are square.
I don't think so.
Because he says it's been fixed, and I'm sure you're going to find challenges with what he mentioned. But I'm sure he would also have problems with this Abofu you talk about. Anyway, that will take me to another issue: poor sanitation in your area. I mean, we saw it right now, and it's such a sorry sight, really. Hussaini.
I think the issue of local government handling the sanitation issue has to be addressed again, even if the local framework will have to be looked at. I am from the NPP side. We believe in getting the environment or the business environment ideal for private people to partake. And I mean, when we were in power, we saw the likes of Zoom Lion being created and all that. But today, what do we have? We have an economy which is actually crumbling. It's gotten into every facet of our society. Sanitation not being left out. Because yes,
this is your constituency,
that's our
gentlemen.
constituency. That's our constituency, and those are the roads that NDC is fixed. I know
these roads don't look fixed. How can you say the NDC fixed?
Those are the roads that are purported to have been fixed. I don't know what.
I don't think they lay claim to fixing these roads. That's pretty unfair.
I don't see the contract. You see the contradiction here, claiming Elizabeth Saki has done this.
I'm saying what it is. Being able to get even the outline
the MPP has not done anything.
But you said
if you are saying the NDC, because we are having a
why are you
current
contradicting
MPP
yourself?
He rather is
No, wait.
contradicting.
You said the NPP MP has done so
Something,
well.
but he won't say that's the road the NDC has fixed.
Why are you? Why are
it's
you
not
hiding
fair.
your words now?
No. It's not fair.
All right, you're being.
Then we will come back to
you're
the
being
MPP.
Slightly dishonest.
No.
With us or with me?
No.
Okay, never mind. Never mind, Abdul.
No,
we're
you are
talking about
also not
sanitation.
being fair to me.
We're
I'm
talking
being
about
so
sanitation.
nice. So nice.
No, you are not being fair.
Don't mind me. Let's go on.
We're talking about sanitation. I'm saying that within the period that we were in government, I mean, for the 8 years, we saw companies like Zoom Lion come up. Even yesterday, I was having a conversation with a gentleman who used to run a waste management company called Jafaro. And the sort of challenges they have, all those companies have actually run down because they are unable to replenish the sort of capital they would need to buy the sort of trucks they need.
So you're saying this filth has
it's
accumulated
or
started accumulating when your party was thrown out?
You see, people could afford to get containers then.
And they can afford now.
Oh, yes, it's difficult because you know how much we have to pay?
How
you have to pay about 100 cedis to get a truck come to your house to pick it. How many people can afford that? In an area like Okaikoi, you don't get very many people being able to do that. And even that the truck comes once a week. So people are forced to do things that hitherto they are not supposed to do, right? So what we need is to enforce the laws. I think we already have the laws. We need to also support the sanitation companies. We have those local boys with their tricycles going.
Yeah.
But even that a container costs about 10 cedis, 20 cedis. And if the person can afford, they will have to just keep their rubbish.
Well, but you've got to be responsible for your environment. Why are we expecting central government to do everything?
I'm not saying the central government is responsible. People should be responsible for things like their environment.
Right.
But then it's also a factor of affordability. If you're unable to afford
the economy
sort of
is
services,
not conducive.
Of course, and it will eat into
affordability.
every aspect of it. It will eat into health,
So that's a justification for...
I'm not justifying it. I am not justifying the filth. I'm not justifying it, but I'm saying that people don't have lots of options to pursue. And so they are forced to do what hitherto, if they could afford, they wouldn't have done.
Okay. Mr. Assemblyman, look at the filth in your constituency, and you're an assemblyman for this area. And you say that through your office and through your capacity to lobby as an assemblyman, you've brought a lot of relief to your people. It doesn't look like you brought relief in terms of sanitation.
Well,
sanitation is actually taking over. I mean, poor sanitation is taking over some areas in your
I don't think this is part of our Kwetema.
Where is it?
Not part of my electorate area.
Okay, but still Okaikoi.
Yeah, that's Okaikoi. But coming to sanitation issue, you see, I don't like politicization of sanitation. But since I think for some years back now, the sanitation has given some human face within the AMA. Some years back, when you move about, you see containers sited at some areas where young children are made to carry filth, sometimes containing, human excreta to all this. But the AMA took a bold decision, to ban the carrying of those filth. But in doing so too, AMA made sure all houses were registered, numbered, and then provided with container. And as I speak to you now, there's an exercise going on known as Nawabin. And there are national service personnel. Nawabin. Yeah, okay. National waste, management. Whatever.
Something with a bin.
Yeah. So that exercise is ongoing. National service personnel are on the ground, registering all households, and we are going to provide sanitation bins to each of these households. And most contractors too are also going to be empowered so that there will be regular, lifting of these sanitation. And that notwithstanding, The Sanitation Day has also come in to help to some extent dealing with this
people are
sanitation
willing
issue.
to
But that
go
is the
in.
unfortunate aspect of it.
The surprising thing is that I need to
Hussein,
make a point.
why do you
Why
always want to hijack his time?
Won't you
Why are you
allow me?
hijacking
No, I am
Don't
not. I just need
interject
to
me,
make a
please.
quick point.
No.
I'll
The
let
fact
you make
of
it
the matter,
later.
yeah,
Please
the
go.
fact of like I was saying, Sanitation Day has come in, and as an assembly member, I have some evidence here to show you. Almost every 1, 2, 3 weeks. That last Saturday, I was on the ground.
In the constituency?
In my electoral
In your
area, and
electoral
I moved
area.
into some of the electoral. You know, most of these assembly members in Alogbosi, in Kisima, were all my, they all took inspirations from me. So
Right.
sometimes I had to move in and guide them on how to go about these cleanup exercises. And we are doing it almost every time
Okay.
in the constituency just to improve sanitation. But quickly, let me add that sanitation issues are attitudinal. Let the
That is-
Ghanaian...
that is
let the-
true.
yeah,
That
let
is
the
very true.
people change their attitude. We have been able to put up a sanitation court. When you come to Abeka, the AMA has a court there where the sanitation officers are prosecuting people. And I can tell you that last year, people without toilet facilities in their various homes, a lot of people
Okay.
have been prosecuted.
That's
Over
very true.
2,000 people have
Okay,
been
Abdul,
prosecuted.
Abdul,
And, yeah,
that
all these-
statement is instructive. 1 minute.
All
That
these-
statement you make is very instructive about
Attitudinal-
sanitation or bad sanitation being an issue of attitude. So we need
Exactly.
attitudinal change.
very,
and
very
you've
critical.
provided the systems and what have you
court.
to ensure the court.
System is there.
What is being done to change the attitudes of these people? Because if I realize that there's a lot of filth in my house and I want to get rid of the filth, and I put the bin outside my house for several days and it's not being picked up, what has it got to do with my attitude?
Exactly, you need to report to your assembly member, your unit committee member. That is the negligence of the contractor. Because the contractor, the referee is not supposed to
the
sit
unit
there.
committee was introduced.
The
was
referee
actually
is
sworn
not
into
supposed
office
to
by
sit
the-
there
Okay.
more than 24 hours.
But it happens.
So it's your responsibility
But
to
it-
report. As a citizen, report to your unit
But
committee
it's
member.
therefore- okay.
I am amazed.
Yes.
When,
Okay,
when
let
does
me
this
come in.
unit committee come into force? They were sworn into office last week after they been elected for so many months ago.
But
Look,
that is
I
not
go
the
to
issue.
Lagos quite often. When you go to Lagos, they have a designated Saturday morning as a sanitation day within Lagos. No vehicle moves within Lagos.
What's the,
If you
what's
have
the
to-
it's senator's name? Can't
Yeah,
remember.
it was
It starts with an F. I can't remember. I can't remember.
Yeah,
But
I
you did
can
it very
also
well.
remember.
Yeah.
Right. On a Saturday morning, if you want a cab from your hotel to the airport, you won't get a cab.
Fashola.
Fashola.
Yeah.
You see, it was backed by a legal framework, a framework that everybody bought into. Look, if you're locked up that Saturday morning, that's it. If you have to get to a hotel, the airport by 6 a.m., you have to leave your hotel by 3 a.m. because the cabby wants to go and come back. We don't have that in Ghana. And this whole sanitation, I'm wondering, what was it one of the policies that somebody sleeps and dreams that, this is feasible?
It was a great idea.
It's a great idea, but I don't think it's backed by the legal framework we need. Like it's been
They're
done in
appealing
Lagos.
to the consciousness of people.
Appeal to people.
Yeah.
Wow. Then
Not
probably
necessarily.
we have to appeal
We
to
don't
all
need
of
a
us in a lot of-
legislative backing.
Of course
for
we
it.
do. Of
because
course we do.
we all want to be responsible for our environment,
Of
and that's
course
a
we do.
little
When-
way we can help.
When the
to
driver
clean our
knows that there's a
communities.
deterrent that makes it illegal for him to go on that
There are
road, drive
bylaws.
within.
There are bylaws.
That's it. Those bylaws. I don't know whether this
They're not
sanitation day
effective.
is part of the. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think
All right,
it's
let me
just one
take
of the
some
things of
messages
the
from social media now about the two of you. Okay. There are a lot of messages about your interview and then that of President Rawlings, so I need to seek through. All right. Black Foreigner says, where there developments before the NDC came to power, the two parties have failed totally. Okay. John Tete says, Mr. Razak, please, it looks as if you are not being realistic in your submission. We are watching you. Okay. Gideon says, a heavy storm has blown Doma and its villages, so there is a light of here. Some houses have actually lost their roofs, but no lives have been lost. We are very thankful for that. Okay. Nanaba, ni boy man had seen no major development changes in the last 10 years. Tell the NDC man to stop lying. Nanaba, the NDC man is telling lies. There's no road project ongoing here at Niboy man. God, why do politicians do this? I am right here in the community, and he's saying this. There is no development of roads at all. Denta Amarting says, interesting discussion on state of affairs. There's one here also about the president. Okay, Daniel Omasa says, Nanaba, the NDC man is not being truthful. I'm in this community and I'm not seeing any development. But he didn't say it's the whole constituency. He mentioned certain areas. So if you're not in that area, I don't think it is fair to say he's not being truthful, because he's talking about the roads in his area as an assemblyman that he's seen some work being carried out on. Okay, Nanaba, please ask the NPP gentleman how, as a vice president of Data Bank, he's going to help the youth in that area to get access to loans to start their own businesses. We'll come to unemployment in a bit. I don't think Honorable Elizabeth Saki has done anything at all for this community. Sanitation is actually getting worse by the day, and when we even have cleanup, she doesn't show up. Right. Okay. Walanyo says, truth be told, Papa J is on top. Well, still about... Okay, let's take reactions from the two of you about the comments we're receiving.
Oh, I find one quite interesting.
Which one?
Job creation.
We'll come to job creation very soon, so if you can react to other things.
Other things like, which one is that? The state of labor, man?
No.
Yes,
Sanitation.
Sanitation.
That the Honorable Elizabeth Saki does not show up for clean. I think I've seen her a couple of times on TV helping with cleanup exercises, so I don't think it's pretty fair to say she doesn't show up for cleanup exercises.
I show up for cleanup exercises.
You do?
In fact, consciously, party our people.
Because you want to be voted for.
That is it. Because you want to be voted for. I don't know I have never seen Fuseni take
It's a big
because he want to be voted for. I started community development. No, it is because that's the point. You want to be voted for. That's why he started. I will show you evidence of pictures here when I started community development. As young, no. When I wasn't as young as 20. That's the point. Because you want to be voted for. That's why you are even seeing him now.
Of course, yes. Of course, yes.
But I have always involved myself in community development. No, not before I even became an assembly member. That's the point I'm emphasizing. I can show you a picture now with Elizabeth. Yes, I'm
with Elizabeth.
With Elizabeth.
At the time,
I can show you pictures here with Elizabeth.
At the time, I was a member of the NPP.
No. I believe, here you are. I'm with Elizabeth. In a community development.
Okay.
Do you get a point? I believe in community development.
Why did you cross carpet?
No. I haven't been No. That isn't true.
He was only working with
I was working with her because I believe Sam George worked with Aliyu Muhammad.
In 2008,
Sam
he was a polling station executive.
Sam George.
Ask him again.
No.
We are on TV, please. We are on TV.
Who are polling agent?
He was a polling station executive.
You were a polling
At where?
station
At Al-Jabbar police station.
No, that is not true. I work with Elizabeth Saki for community development, when she was an assembly member.
Let's go to job
But we
creation.
haven't seen Fuseni in any community development before. Being an assembly member for 3 consecutive, a unit committee member, work with Elizabeth, put up a new school. This a sword being cut for community school in 2009.
Oh, should I have brought my pictures as well?
As what?
You didn't ask
No, I believe the people should look at achievement.
Wait. Achievement?
Isn't it?
Is it
Yes.
your achievement? Why are you
Somebody
taking
who
credit for something somebody initiated?
Like, I have it. So go to Akwetema,
So you
Achimota,
initiated these
Abofu,
projects
and
and
lot of them.
Elizabeth Saki
Here
executed
you are.
them?
No,
I'm
this is a
asking
cleanup
you.
exercise
Wait.
with Elizabeth Saki.
Wait. You initiated it, and Honorable Elizabeth Saki
No,
executed
Fuseni made
it.
a point that assembly members are agents of development.
No. I'm not
I
I'm
didn't
not talking
initiate
about that.
any
You're
project that
saying that you've
Elizabeth...
never seen him do any community
Any
development.
community. I haven't.
And you said you have
But
done.
he said,
I live in a different electoral area from you.
No, I haven't.
You live in Abuja, I live in
That is when he's now won the vote. That's why he's involved. But I'm telling you, I have involved in community
Let's take a break
as
now.
way back as
We'll be back to
2002.
talk about
When I was only
unemployment.
22 years. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Why are you still talking? We'll be right
Can
back.
I get some water?
Please.
This is former President Jerry Rawlings, and you're watching State of Affairs on GH1.
Welcome back to the show. Abdullah, I'll come to you. Unemployment.
All right, but before that, let me just clarify an issue on the text message. There's some from Niboyman. Yeah, I just want the guy to go to Fish Pond and see the road under construction. He should go to the Masalati Road, the one in front of Musa, who is a special aide to the vice president. Around that road is under construction.
You need to be a special aide of the president to be able to get development.
Why should that be?
You need to
That's
be.
not what he meant.
No, exactly. I mean,
that's
what he said.
No.
You need to be a
The
special
one
aide
in
of
front of
President
the-
John Dramani Mahama.
But you're
to
talking
be able
about-
Is the
to get
road for
road
him?
fixed.
Is the road going to be for him?
No, that's-
Is he going to
that's
live
what
there
he
for?
did. That's what he just
No,
said. I
is the road
didn't
going to be for him?
All right.
No, is the road for
You
him?
keep talking about
No,
roads that are being
No,
constructed.
there was a
Tell us-
text message that roads has not been done in Niboyman. That's why
So
I
you're
And
want
I'm
saying that
telling you
roads
that
under
you
High
need to be a
tension road.
special assistant
No,
to
no,
the
no, no,
president.
no.
No,
No, is the
yes.
road for him? No, is the road for
Let's
him?
talk about- let's talk
Is the
about
road going to be
unemployment.
for
We don't
him?
have too much time
Yeah,
left.
good. Thank you. Yeah, all right. Yeah, as I said, I think Akwiteman, Achimwata, Niboyman, Anauma, Anumle, in both electoral area, my check has brought up a lot of youthful unemployment in the community. That is very, very true. There are a lot of youth who are unemployment or who one way or the other, they are ready to do their work. But
Who are
unfortunately-
unemployed?
Yeah, there are a lot of unemployment in the constituency. That is very, very true. But as a member of parliament, there are a lot of government agencies. Just a couple of 2-3 months back, I took it upon myself to tour the constituency, what I call governance to the doorstep of the people. Try to liaise with the youth, to let them understand there is this youth enterprise support. Yes, project where government has allocated an amount of 10 million Ghana cedis for youth.
That's your area?
No, that's my billboard in the background.
For youth.
Maybe it's such an opportunity.
Yeah, for youth, for youth development. There are a lot of. We also have the MASLOC, that is Microfinance and Small Loan Center, Office of the President. All these, I took it upon myself. I have moved to the various areas to educate the people on the need for them, to take advantage of these facilities so they can engage. And lo and behold, there are a lot of young guys who day in day out, they come to my office, trying to see how best we could help them to assess some of these. As I speak to you now, just today about 4 or 5 guys came. We help them in writing the proposal and put it across youth enterprise support. The first batch has already been trained, so they have been given the money. Some are into pottery project, some are also into bead making, and they are doing well gradually. And these are some of the things that we are going to expand. We are also going to liaise with the non-governmental organizations, which I'm always doing. I've been working with NGOs. I've been working with NIMCOS Ghana.
Okay.
I've worked with NEC, Ghana's Education Campaign Coalition, to help in, educating
So that's your plan
the youth
to tackle
for these,
unemployment
exactly,
in
for
the
this.
constituency.
And apart from that, one major thing is to try as much as possible, to let the youth understand the benefit of technical education.
Okay.
It's very critical.
All right. I'm sorry, I have to cut you here for him to come in because I don't have a lot of time.
Job creation is my thing. I mentioned that I work in private equity. Before then, I'd been working in
And whilst on that, you can answer the gentleman's question.
on job creation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in venture capital. In fact, I was part of the team that actually started Venture Capital Trust Fund.
Okay.
I used to run a fund, a $10 million fund called Bedrock Venture Capital Finance Company.
Okay.
And this was a creation of the government of the NPP. It started in 2004 with a legal framework. By 2006, we had gotten everything. By 2007, I was part of the core group that started. I was a general manager of one of the, like I said, Bedrock Venture Capital. Through that, we created so many jobs. I actually invested monies in 11 companies across Ghana in various sectors, in poultry, in ICT, in waste recycling, a plethora of
So you've been
cycles.
investing in these people.
This is what a government needs to be done. I'm glad that Razak did mention youth employment scheme. I think it's an illegal scheme in the first place.
Oops.
Yes, I think so. It has no legal framework, no
Okay.
legal support.
Tell us your plan for unemployment.
My plan for unemployment. Like I said, I work in an environment or in an industry. I understand some of these things.
You said
I
youth
believe that
employment is a joke.
I believe
when government has come out with a law
I believe that-
I don't remember. I don't remember inviting you to speak.
I mean, if you follow precedence in parliament,
You're
you say
eating
parliament,
if you
the
follow
current
precedence
youth
in parliament,
employment, with the
if you
legal
follow
backing,
precedence
and you
in
call it a
parliament,
joke.
Razak,
you know
I'm
it.
sorry,
No,
but
with the legal
because
backing,
I
and you
know
call it
what
a
I'm
joke.
talking about.
When
I'm
parliament
sorry.
has
I'm
passed a
I'm
law,
sorry.
where
I mean,
you say you want
if
to
he
go.
feels strongly about
No,
it,
but
he's
that
allowed
is
to make his
unfortunate.
point.
To say
It
it's
is
a
not
joke
unfortunate. I know
where
what
we
I'm
have
taking his time.
legal backing.
Are you
I am-
deliberating?
Where the
I know what
likes
I'm
of
talking about.
say Mensa Bunsu were
I know
in
what I'm
there,
talking about.
and they
You should
took
follow
part
precedence
in
in
making
parliament.
the law.
You should
When
follow
you have
precedence in
legal
Abu
parliament.
Razak, Issa,
That's
I'm
unfortunate.
sorry.
That's
Please.
unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Let him make his point.
To say
I
it
did
is a
indicate
joke.
that I don't have too much time. You're
No,
eating
but
it
you
too
should,
slow.
you should bring it to
my
order. You don't
plan-
say
my
it's a
plan-
joke.
You don't tell me how to do my job.
My plan to create an employment is to make people employable. First, they need to acquire the skills. They need to be ready for the opportunities when they come. We have started by doing clinics. Clinics for the young people within, even people with small enterprises. We're looking at helping them to expand. We're having clinics where we invite market people, small traders, to come over. We teach them first the rudiments of expanding or doing business by good bookkeeping practices. We go into good,
Which is a big problem,
It is
really.
a big problem because companies are going. We're treating topics like succession planning, which is a huge problem across Ghana. Even we've seen huge companies go down just because of bad succession planning. We're doing things like corporate governance. We're telling people the importance for them to get their businesses registered. I believe that with our concentration on those aspects of businesses, those businesses are going to grow. They're going to expand. They are going to create opportunities locally for the local people to be employed. Going forward, I think that the government of the NPP, we have our policies. We have said, we have done the Venture Capital Trust Fund, which is today a pale shadow of itself. As of 2009, we're creating hundreds of jobs across Ghana. Today, the Venture Capital Trust Fund is a pale shadow of itself. I'm sure that if we're given the opportunity again, we're going to put money in there like we did initially, and we're going to expand it.
I've got 2 minutes to wrap up. I've
Where
got
were
2
the
minutes.
you
I'm
registered?
sorry, Abdul.
All right.
You're my friend.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Abdul, we've got 2 minutes to go. I'll give you 1 minute to tell your constituents why they should vote for you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Yeah, let me take this over to appeal to the people of Okaikoi North. They should look for experience. Born in Akweitema, went to Alogbosi, or as a typical local boy. Yeah, have taught in about 5 schools in the communities. Taught in Blessed Home, in Kopevi, in Achimota, taught in Anauma, taught in Niboima Noble Child, taught in CIS in Achimota. So I have a broad-based interaction with the people of Akweitema, Achimota, and Anauma Electorate because I've been a teacher in the community for the past 10 years. And I'm notwithstanding, when you come to Alugbosi, there is a borehole there. I've brought about 14 boreholes to help in solving water situation in the constituency. Hold it. I organize free periodic
you're out of
classes.
time. I'm sorry. It's already 8:30.
Periodic. So I think
Hussaini,
for
please.
continuity, let me urge the
Take over.
people
Thank
to
you.
look
Thank you
at
for
this
the
Take
experience.
over. Okay.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm urging the people of Okaikoi North to still keep faith with the NPP like they've done in the past. I'm offering myself up this time because I think that there's a lot of work to be done in Okaikoi North, and so I'm putting my expertise, my experience. I might not have taught in those areas, but I have gained the experience from my other exposure and interaction with people from outside the constituency. I've seen how these things have been done. I understand what it takes to be a development agent, and that's exactly what we're going to push in Okaikoi North. We are going to make Okaikoi North a very, very productive constituency within Greater Accra.
Okay, thank you very much, Abdul Razak Issa, NDC parliamentary candidate for the Okaikoi North constituency, and also Hussaini Issa, NPP parliamentary candidate for the same constituency, that's Okaikoi North. And let me just remind you that the interview with former President Jerry Rawlings will be airing once again on GH1 TV on Sunday at 2:30 p.m. If you missed it this evening, you can still check it out on Sunday, and it will be on my YouTube account. Search for Nana Abba Anamwa. All the interviews we've conducted here will be there. Thank you very much for your time. Have a fantastic night.
Thank you.
I like that. Uncle and nephew. All right.
Yeah, all right.